As you see the cars lined up on the start finish line. This is a new little game mode we're doing here. It's called Two and Out. So if any of these cars come out twice, they're off for the lane rotation, and then the race continues, just as if uh, everybody was on the lane. So it may come down, and I've seen it before when we used to race this in the basement. I've seen it before where that only one guy was left standing and making laps. So it really throws a wrench in there for everybody, and it's really anybody's game. You just better stay on. That's all I can tell you, because if you come off, it could be the end of your racing career in this specific race mode. So I like new race modes, and I think this is kind of exciting. Sometimes here at Lanes Raceway, we do different game modes. There's one of them that me, Tom, and Daniel Taylor and Trent Taylor kind of messed around with the first week that we were open, and it was called like Cops and Robbers or something. But basically, you have three racers and four cops on the track chasing each other down, and it was kind of a survival for 10 minutes type thing. But we never did really implement that into any kind of live stream. It was just kind of having fun with some track time and stuff, but everybody really enjoyed it. But we're fixing to get here underway here shortly as everybody's doing their final preparations to get this race underway. All right, we got 8 seconds before we go live. I just told them two and out, keep it honest. Everybody's going to be honest here, I'm sure. As we're live, everybody looking like professionals out there right now. Ooh, we got two. Looks like one car off right now. There on purple looks like Jason Howard, the first to come off. Looks like both Paul and Tim hit Jason, but neither one of them actually came out of the lane, so therefore they ain't out. It don't count. So we got one for Jason Howard. If he gets one more wreck, he's off for the heat. This is, I'm telling you, really high stakes here. Really high stakes. So go green again. You see Jason really toning her down there on purple now, as he can't come off again, so he really needs to just make sure he's making laps. Jason just bought him a fresh new, got a little moth there, fresh new NASCAR here, so that's brand new out of the box there. As we got Gabriel got a little bit of a bump there from Jason Howard. That does count. So we got one for Jason and we got one for Gabriel with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. Some of these guys with these NASCARs, they have Silver Braid. What a wild hit there. I think Tom Payton just got slammed all the way up into the red lane there. That does count. So we got one for Gabriel, one for Tom Payton, and one for Jason Howard. Some of these guys running ball bearings in their rear axles. Some of these guys running Silver Braid. This is our open class. These guys really can just do whatever they please. other than change the chassis and the motor as the rules dictate. Some of these guys even running some really high quality wing car style tires that are meant for like qualifying and other stuff. We got two cars off here. One of them on yellow. That would be Gabriel. Is it yellow? So somebody's coming off there. I don't know whose car that is. It's coming off. It's there in Dead Man's Corner. It's kind of hard for me to see. Looks like Tom Payton's out for the rest of the heat. I see sometimes like people in this kind of race mode, they're friendly, and then other times like when it comes to the wire, it really gets hot. So that was one for Glenn and one for Paul Woosley, and then one for Randy Kirtley. So none of these guys have had one yet. Looks like Tim Hall's also off. He hasn't had one either. So everybody now has had one to come off. So whoever comes off again, they are coming off for the heat with 36 seconds left to go. And like I said, I mean, it really makes you put it to the test. Like if you're on black, you're golden because, you know, everybody needs to be scared to go across you. But likewise, if you're on black and you're on purple, you know, somebody on purple could just brake check you too, just to get you to come off. So that's if you play vindictively. You know, rubbing's racing, they say. Looks like Jason might possibly need to clean those tires a little bit, put a little bit of glue on it, being that's a new car. It's a little bit squirrely there as you see Jason giving the leeway there to Gabriel Kirtley, letting him go by. Probably a really good safe decision because if either one of them comes off, it's over. Now you see Jason giving it back to Gabriel Kirtley there on yellow, trying to chase him down with that new car. Gabriel's car really running good from the last time he ran this. I think he got a victory. He signed up on the top of our boards. Of course, we do our celebrations at the end of the night now, and we're going to go take a look at this track mate and see what we got going on here. So you can look at Tom there with 36 laps where he came off twice, how devastating this can be to come off twice. You can tell in my voice I get super excited about this game mode. Gabriel Kirtley turning the most with 73 laps there on yellow. Paul Woosley and Jason Howard tied with 71 off of green and purple. Tim Hall there in fourth place with 67 laps turned on white, and Randy Kirtley with 63 laps turned on red. That's really, really good for both of those guys there on those higher lanes. And then Glenn Burton there with 46 laps, playing it pretty easy. Average laps, of course, 73, as this is our first heat for Gabriel Kirtley. All of it the same as what their laps are, total laps. As we get ready and take a look in the pits, watching these guys work on their cars, you can see Tom there looking at his watch and got his car in his hand, and his mama there talking to him, and Randy Kirtley there also in the pits working on his car, doing his routine, cleaning the tires, and can't tell if he's put a little glue on there or not. You see Tim Hall up there in the top left of your corner. Got his car ready to go as he puts it back on the track and takes his sticker card. Earlier, we were having a little bit of trouble with the live streams. I think it boiled down to our secondary camera that we take out sometimes live, and it has to run on its own little, I guess, self-server that ties in with this streaming setup that we have. But for some reason or another, was having some misconnection issues and causing our stream to really delay on all of our other cameras. But I think hopefully we got that worked out, and we should be good to go. 40 seconds, we'll be going back live racing. Okay, so it sounds like I just heard from Gabriel Kirtley there. In the pits, it looks like Tom needs his lead sorted back on. So it looks like Randy Kirtley's there coming to save the day and help Tom out. Like I said here at Lanes Raceway, every one of us is racers. First and foremost, we're human beings here, and I would say there's a lot of brotherly love that happens here. We always try to help each other do better, even if that means giving our secrets away. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this when it goes live. Okay, well, it looks like somebody beat me to it. But, anyways, that's good. Braid? All right, I'm back. I had to make a quick sell there. Paul Woodsley just sold him a fresh set of silver braid. Said he wore a hole in one of them, so that's kind of surprising because that silver braid tends to last quite a long time. Let's go take a look outside. What a beautiful night we're having here at Livermore. Oh, well, it doesn't look like I did lose the friendly spider that we got there in the top left of the corner over there, right above Jason's head, it almost looks like. That thing's still there. I guess during the daytime it's kind of invisible. Still hanging on to that old cobweb there, letting us know how the wind's blowing. Like going down the street. Everybody having a good time. Looks like my wife's out there too. Fanning the door, letting bugs in. You'll have that. Everybody else patiently waiting as we get the lead sorted back on a car before we start this next heat with a minute and 59 seconds on it. I'm excited. I'm sure you guys are excited. As always, I like to take attention here while we got a little bit of time and let everybody know we have Stern pinball machines here at Lanes Raceway, and we plan on getting more. Two in the future. We plan on getting Jurassic Park and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. But as right now, they're very hard to get, but whenever we can get them, we're going to. Top of the week, every week, whoever's in the top gets 30-minute track time. At the end of the month, whoever's at the top gets a free hour of track time. We kind of reciprocate that sometimes too, just into pinball time. So, because, you like pinball, you're on the top, you want to play more pinball. That's how it is. We also have pinball tournaments here. We would enjoy it if you came and joined us with that, a little bit of fun. None of us really all that good, as you can tell by the scores, but we have fun, and there's only one rule here. You can't do death saves. Everything else is legal, and we like to have a good time. We're going to eventually do some live streams in it. I don't have a jig set up right now to be able to do it, but once we do, I think that'll bring a little bit more attention to the pinball. See Gabriel Kirtley coming around there on the high bank section. My wife's actually track marshaling tonight. She was kind of worried, and I kind of gave her a little bit of encouragement and let her know that, hey, you got this. Just think of it like this. After two people come off, the same person, you don't have to pick that car up for the rest of the heat. Here we go. Round around the first corner, and a car takes a hard hit right out of the gate. Looks there on blue. That's Paul Woodsley taking his first hit. Minute and 54 seconds to go. He cannot come off again, or he will be out for this heat. All right. Now, I don't know how many cars is involved here. We got one there on black. That would be Jason Howard. And it looked like the other one was on red, maybe Tim Hall. I can't see if he came off or not. But everybody will keep everybody honest. We got a little bit of a bunch up there on black and purple. Seemed like one let loose there off of purple and let black get on by. It'll be Jason Howard going on by past Glenn Burden. As we got a little bit of a battle between white and green, but it looked like we had a break there happen with green. Now we got white and red fixing to take place here. Everybody really hooking to this track tonight. Similar, we had a little bit of a touch there on black to purple. As purple comes off, that'd be Glenn Burden. And I encourage you, too, to keep count if you're watching this. And if you see that somebody's came off twice and nobody's calling it, let me know, and I'll let them know for sure. Keep everybody honest. That's what good, clean fun comes from. As this game mode here is kind of a special one. As you've seen Glenn there in the corner letting Jason Howard by. Jason's car really hooking up on black. As we got Randy Kirtley off there in the high banks with 46 seconds left to go. He gets put back there on green. Question whether or not Paul was in on blue. And here we go. They're back under racing, and I mean hard at it too, right out of the gate. You wouldn't think they would take off so quick when it's a 2 and out, but man, these cars are on another level compared to the GRCs that we raced earlier tonight. Ooh, as we had a close pass there on orange and green between Gabriel Kirtley and Randy Kirtley. Sometimes you just wonder how they get past each other without completely annihilating each other. Ooh, and we got another hard pass there on black through purple. Jason Howard really doing it like a pro against Glenn Burden there. Glenn Burden not letting up as we got another one off. All right, we got one off. Our first one off. I think that's Randy Kirtley that came off. And there's a lot of post-blame going on. As Gabriel definitely doesn't want to be in the heat section of Randy Kirtley because Randy Kirtley knows how to control a slot car. Let's take a quick look there at his face. You can tell Randy Kirtley is not pleased as we go into another lane rotation. So how many laps did that cost him? Well, really, to be honest, not a whole lot. Maybe 3 or 4 laps. So Randy's not in a bad position here as he took that. I'm sure he's still not pleased to even lose that amount as he's used to not even coming off, period. But as our total laps show, 145 between Gabriel and Jason Howard, really just giving it the beans. Paul Woosley there really close with 144. Then it goes down from there. Tim Hall with 133, Randy Kirtley 127. So Randy Kirtley has ran some of our higher lanes so far. Glenn Burden with 116 and Tom Payton with 100. So, I mean, it's still 6 more heats of this. There's going to be more people come off. And this is one of the type of races that you just can't tell all the way up until the end because it could go good for everybody all the way up until the last heat. And somebody could come off in 2 laps and that's it. They're done, you know. And you can turn anywhere from 70 to 80 laps. So if it's within 70 of 80 laps to any of these guys, like I said, it's anybody's ball game here. And that's what makes it so exciting. It's really the great equalizer. Are you a good, consistent racer, or are you just in it for the speed? Because speed kills, you know, speed kills. So take a look here in the pits. See Tom Payton there talking to his mom. Tom Payton, I'll tell you what, really impresses me. He comes from RC cars, but really impresses me with how quickly he picked up slot car racing. And, I mean, a force to be reckoned with behind an Indy car for sure. Randy Kirtley there with sheer determination, oiling his bushings, using the Slick 7 lubricant that we sell here. Also our stinkiest lubricant, by the way. It has a bad reputation, especially in here in the shop when I use it. I believe it's the best, but at the same time, it's the worst because it stinks horribly. Jason Howard there putting his car back on. See Gabriel Kirtley rounding the way here. Looks like he's got his cool block there. Let's see if we can get a big zoom in on that little cool block he's got. Oh, he put it down. Well, nonetheless, that little cool block he's got, he puts his car on there, and it keeps his motor cool. All right, it looks like Glenn Burton took a hit there, and he came off the track. Oh, wait a minute here. All right, so it looks like Gabriel Kirtley was still in the slot, but it looked like Jason Howard gave him the old what for in the backside of his body. So that was a hard hit. All right, so I didn't see who came off. It maybe, possibly, Tim Hall came off. All right, and we're back green. It's amazing how a little bit of fear will make the people slow down enough and actually race the race. And what's funny is we could probably compare this race as laps to the other night when these people were racing this same style race, the Fairview IT Cup Series, with one where we don't count it. Ooh, is Tim Hall and Gabriel Kirtley are combined in a wreck there. And we could probably go back and look at that and see that after this race is done, I almost guarantee you they're going to turn way more laps in this than they did in the other when they were trying to be super fast and wrecking all the time. It kind of takes me back to the movie Days of Thunder when Harry Hogg is like, his way, my way. And he's like, he was a certain amount of time faster. I can't remember. But you guys know the quote in the movie, I'm sure. If you guys are watching this, surely you've watched Days of Thunder as race fans. If you haven't, go watch it, please. Okay, so it looks like we got another one off the track here. So how many is left standing? So it looks like Glenn and both Jason Howard. Jason Howard in second place, so you can see how quickly the tides can turn. This is what Tom Payton's wanting to see. He's wanting to be able to see Glenn and Tom and or Glenn, Jason, and Tim off so that he can gain up some of that time. He's got 47 seconds to do it. This is going to be some game changer as you see Randy Kirtley fixing to take over third place here, surely. This is why I say consistency is king in this racetrack. and how quickly things change as Paul Woosley takes over first place from Gabriel Kirtley, really putting the hammer down with his Dale Earnhardt body. Very exciting. For some reason or another, the best lap not working currently. I think it has to do with in the settings, I may have forgot to turn off one of the check marks to sell individual lane. This happens sometimes. I forget things. But it's just one less thing that we have to worry about. But we can still see the best lap time, which was recently just turned by Paul Woosley. Let's take a look at the TrackMate data here. It's Paul Woosley with an average of 73.3 laps right now. Really hauling the mail out there with that NASCAR. And just giving everybody that comes near him what for. Randy Kirtley and him tying on blue lane, but on every other lane, Paul Woosley just shredding the competition. So we'll see how that shapes up. Currently, Gabriel Kirtley with 71.3 average laps and Randy Kirtley currently with 200. As Tom was able to make up a little bit of ground there and take over Glenn and putting Glenn into last place from that big, huge amount of loss, putting Tom back into this race as he's 2 laps down from Tim Hall and approximately 20 laps down from Jason. So just a couple more wrecks like that. I mean, and when you wreck so early on, it's so damaging to the mental state of you. When you take those hard hits and those wrecks and there's still a minute left, it just kills you inside. And a lot of times that can really get into the heads of those that are not veterans at slot car racing. Let's take a quick look here in the pits. You can already see there Tom a little bit quicker moving, a little bit happier that he was able to gain up a little bit of time. I'm sure he's ecstatic and can't wait for the next heat. Randy Kirtley there working tirelessly on his car. Tim Hall right there in the view, getting his stuff done. Give us a bigger view of the track here as we get ready to go back green. Get a wider pan here. See everybody collapsing in with 30 seconds left before we start seeing those lights go. These kind of game modes too kind of see a race really get shredded through. Mainly because we don't stop the track as much. I think these races are really good for people getting their rhythm down. And I think everybody out here is doing excellent in this game mode. As we got 9 seconds before we go green. Gabriel Kirtley there on red lane up in the top right. Next to Tom Payton there on green. So Gabriel kind of got lucky here, being out there on red by himself. No one around. He can lean into it a little bit more and not have to worry about somebody creeping up on him. So pretty good position to be in when you're on red. So you see a little bit of a cluster up down low. And we have a wreck up high there. Coming off of orange, that would be Jason Howard taking a hit. Minute and 30 still left to go. So Jason's definitely going to be feeling the heat there. That might have been, is that Jason's second? Ooh, man, that's hard to see there. With a minute and 27 left to go. Not what Jason wanted to see there. Whew. So So Jason basically praying for Tim, Tom, and Glenn to wreck. As you can see how brutal this can be. You see purple racing right up next to yellow there. Randy Kirtley and Glenn. Paul Roos really just giving a what for there. A 1.4 lap time he just turned. Incredible. Turning 41 laps as we see Jason starting to fall. Tim Hall took him over just now. Tom Payton fixing to take him now. Tom Payton moving up the list. Glenn Burden fixing to move up the list, putting Jason in last place currently. But there's still a whole lot of race left to go as we round around our middle way here. 4 of 8 heats. That purple car of Randy Kirtley really flying down there. Paul Woosley and Randy Kirtley just necking each other here. As you can see, Paul Woosley reeling in Randy Kirtley there on black. Oh, and we got a car off, it looks like on yellow. So that'd be Glenn Burden there. 4 seconds left in this heat. And not a wreck in sight. As that ends this heat and we do a lane rotation. Going into our 5th heat, let's take a look at the track mate. And as you can see, you could just fall so far from grace in just one heat, going from what I believe Jason was in 3rd or 4th place, dropping all the way to the bottom, just because of bad luck out of the gate. Maybe nerves, who knows? As the nerves definitely do play a factor in this. But you can see the hurt that happens on orange. Both Tom Payton felt that hurt, and Jason Howards both felt that hurt on orange. Not what you want to see, as it lowers the average laps that they produce to 51 from a high average of Paul Woosley's 74.5. Paul Woosley getting his car off black there. See my wife there in the top left corner. She is our corner marshal tonight. I'm very appreciative. So we turn 1 minute and 40 seconds before we go green. Let's take us a quick look out in the parking lot, see how things are going outside. So at the start of the day, we had quite a big rainstorm, and it's cleared up really nice and turned into really quite a beautiful night. A perfect night for a stroll, they would say. Might even take me one after I leave here. You never can tell with me. I might just have to walk the sidewalks of Livermore. If you ain't ever been to Livermore, it's a very peaceful town, a very beautiful town in my opinion. Grew up here my whole life. I love this place. I love the people, and I love the community, and everybody really just pulls together, and just good people to be around. Tim Hall putting his car on there as we go to our pit cam. Tim Hall will be climbing a ladder a little bit later on tonight as he took home a victory tonight in our dual GRC race. So I have 2 celebrations tonight, one for Tim and one for whoever wins this race. If you're new to watching this channel, please give us a like. We're on Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. Give us a like, share, and comment if you want to. We'll try to answer your questions if you have any. But just get us out there a little bit, as we want to kind of branch out and reach more of a community and try to get them into slot car racing. If you're near Western Kentucky, here in Livermore, Kentucky, 17 miles south of Owensboro, Kentucky, please stop by and come play with us. Look at that brotherly love happening in the pits there. 1 second, here we go. we got a little bit of a battle there between White and Red, as White let Red go on by Jason Howard. Jason Howard podium tonight. Actually, we did 2 GRC races earlier, and Jason got third in both of them. Jason, really a strong up-and-comer. Only been in a few races here, and he's already doing multiple podiums. As we get a car to come off there, let's go to Dead Man's Corner real quick and see what car that is. It looks like it was one on orange. That'd be Glenn Burden. So Glenn Burden's got one under his belt. Speaking of Glenn Burden, past 2 times he's raced, he's gotten victories. So Glenn has joined that crew of back-to-back victors with Tom Payton and Tim Hall and Jay Latham. All 3 of these guys got back-to-back victories. Like to celebrate these guys when we can, especially when they do some really good accolades like that. As they're creeping up there on Randy Kirtley there on black, it's starting to cluster up a little bit. Now it's starting to cluster around purple and blue. As blue lets off a little bit and lets that go on by. 27 seconds left to go as Tim Hall, I think, has to come off the track. I think that's his second one. I don't remember him coming off but one time, but I could be wrong on that. It looks like I am. I don't catch everything, ladies and gentlemen. I don't catch everything. So Tim Hall's going to have to suffer for 26 seconds. That's exactly what Jason wants to see. Also, everybody underneath Tim Hall, for that matter, as Tom Payton has a chance to pull into 4th place here. And I think he's going to actually do that here, right at the end also. 7 seconds left to go. Lynn actually somewhat has the chance to even pass Tim Hall. Almost putting Glenn and Tim Hall on the same lap there. Let's take a look at the track mate here and see if the averages have started going up. As you can see, Jason's average did go up after that, and he turned an impressive amount of laps. But it just takes one time of taking a real severe hit like that and coming off so early on. It does play with the mind a little bit. But total laps, he's got 270. There's still a chance for him to get up there a little bit higher. It just requires people to come off in these next couple of heats, as we still got 3 to go. And like I said, no one knows what this next heat's going to hold. And red and white are a dangerous situation. So Glenn Burden still has red and white. Jason still has red to do. Randy Kirtley still has white. And Paul Woosley still has both red and white to do. The other guys are through it, but the other guys have to worry about purple and black that they have to go through, which will be Gabriel and Tom, and also Tim. Because that's also our other side of the dumpster lane. So if somebody was to come off in the high bank of the track. So like I said, just luck of the draw, and we'll see how things end up turning out. I don't really like to make wild assumptions or guesses on who's going to end up taking it on such a game mode as this. Because you've seen how hard it hurt just to be out of a full heat there with Jason. I mean, that could happen to anybody. It really can. I mean, just somebody coming, pushing a little too deep, knock you off, somebody brake checking you. But either way you look at it, it can get sketchy out there. I see Paul Woosley. I think he might be cooling his motor off there, possibly on the air conditioner. It's a good tactic. I usually see Tom doing that, but here of late, I haven't seen Tom actually going out there and doing it. But Tom he does that with his IndyCar for sure. I'm surprised he isn't doing it. But Tom still doing good as he's pulled up from last position. And he's starting to make a head towards 4th and 3rd place. if I know Tom, it's sheer determination to get there. Randy Kirtley there by the crook of the track, putting his car on yellow. Glenn Burden cleaning his hands. He's got sweat on them hands. He's nervous. Palms sweaty, knees weak. I don't want to say much more than that. I might get a copyright strike. Who knows? 10 seconds and we're about to go green. Eddie Burden says, I think we should try this on Thursday night. Eddie, I will relay that message, and I am always excited to do this. I think it's fun. I think we do need to do it on a GRC class. There may only be one man standing, but we'll see how that goes. As our stream catches up here, it looks like these cars are warping past the speed of light. Don't mind you, it's just bad internet here in Livermore, Kentucky. We do live in a small town, and it's hard to get good internet, but we do what we can do. As these guys are really gripping on there hard, we get a car coming off there in Dead Man's Corner, and it's going to be put on black lane. That'll be Tim Hall. Of course, not what Tim Hall wants to see, as he's racing there neck and neck with Tom Payton. Tom Payton really going to have to, if he wants to get Gabriel Kirtley, he's really going to have to, when he gets next to him and he gets an opportunity, he's going to have to make a move. He's going to have to try to dump him or something. And I hate to say that. Rubbin's racing. He may make some enemies out there, but if you want to get home that podium, sometimes you got to rub. Oh, and a big wreck we got there in Dead Man's Corner. Let's take a peek. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 cars off. One on yellow, that's Randy Kirtley. One off of purple, that's Tom Payton. Gabriel Kirtley got caught up in the mix. That's blue. So kind of what Tom wanted to see, kind of not what Tom wanted to see. And then we got the last car there. Oh, it looks like Tim Hall. Tim Hall's going to be setting out for 119. Of course, that's probably, if we was to go to the pits here, that's probably exactly what Jason Howard there on red wanted to see. Jason Howard there kind of excited about maybe somebody else feeling the hurt that he felt earlier as we go back green. And we're green, and they're clustered up there about purple, yellow, and blue. Yellow and blue now, clustered up. As we see Glenn Burden taking a step above Tim Hall. And Jason Howard also going to be able to probably catch Tim Hall before this is said and done. These guys really gripping to the track. The guys to really watch, Randy Kirtley. Ooh, let's go to Dead Man's Corner and see who was involved. So we got Tom Payton. That'll put Tom Payton out. Who else is this? Who else is on there? So that is orange. That'll be Paul Woosley. That's his first try. So it looks like everybody so far has got one, maybe except for Jason. As we go back green. Of course, this gives Glenn and Jason a chance to make up some laps on Tom Payton and Tim Hall. 32 seconds left to go. That's an eternity whenever you're sitting there in the pits watching this go by. Ooh, and we got a hard hit, and somebody come completely off the track. Let's go back to Dead Man's Corner. I'm telling you, it's getting hot over there. As Jason Howard now has one. Now, this is no bars held. It doesn't matter. If the track gets cut off and your car comes off, it's off. It's literally 2 and out. There is no exceptions. That's what makes it so brutal, as that was Glenn Burden's first one too. So now everybody has one. So if anybody else comes off within this time, they are off. They kind of cluster up there, red and white. Glenn and Jason. See orange joining the mix there. Paul Woosley's car really fast. Randy Kirtley's car really fast. Gabriel Kirtley trying to just keep his pace behind Randy, trying to survive here, I believe. As we get a red flag rotation, We see Tim falls to the bottom. Jason Howard now off the bottom. Tom Payton within range. Let's go into the track mate and see what we got going on here. So Glenn Burden, Tom Payton, Jason Howard, and Tim Hall all within shooting range of each other after taking such devastating hits and falling off. Gabriel Kirtley, Randy Kirtley, Paul Woosley, well, everybody else that was left on the track, very lucky that they didn't get to, as that whole track felt the pain on that last one. Like I said, at a moment's notice, it can all change. Here's my wife. Say hello, T.
Hello, T.
Okay. All right. We got a minute and 19 seconds before we go back green. As everybody is in the pits. Looks like Randy's really under concentration there. He's came off once at the beginning of all this. And it looks like he's really concentrating on trying to get that little bit of time back that he lost. Paul Woosley coming out there. Let's see if he ends up putting his car up against the air conditioner. He rolls past it this time. He did earlier. Tom Payton in here. You can see him behind me in the booth. Tom, how come you haven't been putting your car on the air conditioner like you usually do?
Well, it hasn't been hot enough. They're coming off.
Oh, he says it hasn't been hot enough because he's been coming off. It's a brutal little game mode, ain't it, Tom?
Yep.
But I mean, have you noticed how much cleaner people drive?
Yeah.
How just tight it is?
Everyone's under pressure.
Yeah. And it's just the difference between one person coming off for a full heat and you're right back up in it, you know?
Yep.
It's exciting. 15 seconds to go as these racers all round about and get ready to go back green. Eddie Burden says, I know I'm going to have nightmares. Love you, T. Well, I'll let T know that you love her, Eddie. You don't love me, Eddie? I thought we were friends. I'm just teasing, Eddie. I know you love me. All right. As we go back green here, Tom Payton there on black lane. All right, we got us a big wreck there in the crook of the track. 2 cars involved in it. I think everybody was on in the dead man's corner. So there's one on green and one on white. That'll be Paul Woosley and Jason Howard taking their first hits. What a rush down there. Ooh! And like I said, in a moment's notice, it can all change. As it looks like one of them's heading to the wrecker there. I think it might be Jason Howard there in the top lane took that. Glenn Burden taking his first. Not what Jason wanted to see. His first time out doing this game mode. I hope it doesn't discourage him, as it is fun whenever you do stay on and other people have that happen to them. But it's just the luck of the draw sometimes. Like I said, it gets everybody a little bit different. Gets in the head. But it's a fun mode, really. You see black and purple there clustering up. Woo! And purple made a move. Gabriel Kirtley there showing how he's been doing this for a while. Quite scary, if you ask me. And we got another accident took place there relatively close to Dead Man's Corner. We might be able to see. So that's on White Lane. That would be Paul Woosley. I think that might be Paul's second one. Is that Gabriel Kirtley's second one? Whew. That's big hits. Gabriel Kirtley coming off there. Not what Gabriel Kirtley wanted to see. But I know for a fact Gabriel Kirtley will be back on this kind of game mode. He loves this stuff. He's used to this game mode, that he knows that's how the luck of the draw is sometimes. Glenn Burden now in fourth place. Staying consistent, as he was showing the other night in this same class. Really consistent. Tim Hall possibly getting tired after this will be his third race. Tim Hall, usually just right up there with the front runners. After watching cars go around for about 4 or 5 hours, I would say it would dwell on anyone. Same way there with Jason, as he's been in a couple of these races today too. Podium on 2 of the other races, getting third place. These guys are tired, every one of them. This shows you the dedication to the sport these guys got. Really competitive souls out there to get the dubs. So we got 8 seconds left to go. And Tom Payton comes off on black. And here we go. 7 seconds left to go. Tom Payton there, 4:15. Glenn Burton, 4:27. Catching Gabriel Kirtley. But it looks like Gabriel Kirtley is going to be able to hold him off. Might be the end for Gabriel's hopes of catching first place. As we take a look at track made. And it says Paul Woosley there, 5:18. A smokehouse tonight. Really just giving it everything he's got. Quite far ahead of Randy Kirtley. If Paul Woosley stays this still demeanor, he is going to take home this win tonight. Randy Kirtley there in second place, close at the tips with 5:05. Gabriel Kirtley in third place after he took that devastating hit of losing that whole heat, only turning 26 laps in that heat. Really put him out of contention there. But put him into clasping grasp to Glenn Burden, Tom Payton, Tim Hall, and Jason Howard, as all of those guys are really just battling for third place. Like I said, they're within a certain amount of range there. If somebody comes off right out fresh on the heat, they all still have a chance to collect that third place bounty. Eddie said he loves you, T.
I love you, Eddie.
Eddie, T says she loves you too.
I love you more. Hey, these are here.
Tom Payton there. Ooh, Tom Payton back to putting the old motor to the air conditioner. Getting her nice and cool. See Tim Hall there, putting his car back on the track. Randy Kirtley up there, working on his car in the pits, and Paul Woosley. See Jason Howard not having too much good luck in this game mode here tonight. His first time with his new car too, I would say is a big deal. He also just bought him a controller too. He's probably getting used to that also. But I will tell you right now, keep your eyes out for Jason, as he's going all in on this. Tom Payton here with me. I seen you put the old car back to the air conditioner tricks. I mean, it works with you with IndyCar. Might as well work on NASCAR too, huh? Got 24 seconds left to go. We got Glenn Burden over there, walking off screen. See Tim Payton heading back to his respectable spot. Gabriel Kirtley there, talking to Tom. Probably somewhat disappointed that he had such bad luck. .10 seconds left to go. This is our final heat. It all ends after this. Ooh, as we got orange there let off a little bit. Tim Hall let off. Wise decision, I would say, as that other person had no intentions of letting off. Ooh, and we got a wreck here. Lucky that others wasn't taken out in that hit. It looks like Jason Howard again. Still getting used to his car. But wow, very lucky that it didn't take that whole cluster of people out. Ooh, and how close was that on yellow and blue? If you guys are watching yellow and blue right there, Tom Payton on the inside of Jason Howard. I don't know how there wasn't a dump that took place. As we see Jason Howard, bad luck, taking another hit there. Randy Kirtley coming off also there on White Lane. Very disappointing for Jason Howard. I know, I feel his pain and his suffering inside. I feel it and I share it with him. But one thing Jason can take home with him is he did get 2 podium finishes tonight. Very respectable. So we get another one off there. It seems to be on black possibly, or is that? No. So Gabriel Kirtley came off once with 1 minute and 7 seconds left to go. Kind of cluster up there on around black. Orange Lane of Tim Hall really hauling the mail there here recently. Oh, as I think that might be number 2 for Gabriel Kirtley. Or is that Tim Hall? I think that's Tim Hall. Okay, so that is number 1 for Tim Hall. Tim Hall and Gabriel Kirtley's cars are so close in color. Both of them yellow and green. It's hard to pick them apart. "30 seconds left to go." Ooh, and that's either Tim or Gabriel 1, and that'll be number 2. So that will solidify your last 2 people there. That's very disappointing. As you see Tim Hall and Jason there rounding up the backside. So these guys will not go any lower than that. As we get another big wreck going on there. Looks like maybe possibly 3 people. So green and white. Looks like Randy Kirtley's gone. Very disappointing for Randy, but I don't think there's any chance for Gabriel Kirtley to catch Randy, as he is 40-something laps ahead, or 30-something laps at least, high 30s. So Randy can rest easy at 2nd place. Paul Woosley taking home the victory today. Gabriel Kirtley looking like he's going to catch 3rd place easily with 10 seconds left to go. Glenn Burton rounding up 4th place. Tom Payton coming in 5th. Tim Hall 6th. And Jason Howard rounding it up in 8th. 7th. So, Paul, I gotta know, man, how does it feel? You're fixing to be signing Lanes Raceway.
It's been a minute. Wow.
Well, you had nerves of steel out there, as I'm sure Dad was a little unnerved there at the very beginning coming off. There towards the end, I think Gabriel might have thought that he had a chance at Gabriel, or had a chance at Randy Kirtley. But as I took a look at the numbers, I knew there was no hope for him, and it was solidified at that point. You, Randy Kirtley, and my brother in third place.
Like I say, sun shines on dogs still every now and then.
Well, you heard him say it here, Lanes Raceway. Sun does shine on a dog's tail every now and then. Randy Kirtley, got to know, how does second place feel? You're used to getting first place all the time, aren't you?
Paul just off and left me. Couldn't run with him.
Well, I'll say this much.
He was the motor man tonight.
He was the motor man. Well, I will say this. Paul Woosley's in here all the time tinkering, just like you used to do back in the day. Paul Woosley was wanting a victory, and he got one. Tim, I think maybe you might have got a little tired out there. Did you not?
Been here all day long, so yeah, I was getting a little tired.
That's what I thought. I was like, Tim, going from being first place in the GRC, and I also seen a little bit of that in Jason, too. You guys were you were seeing circles, wasn't you?
Exactly. About 600 and some laps today, I think.
600 and something laps. That's the dedication we have here at Lanes Raceway. These guys are putting in the laps, putting in the times. These guys are getting ready for the season to start here. As you could tell tonight, these guys wasn't coming off the track hardly at all. They're ready for competition. They're ready to chase that purse. Tom, I got to know, are you ready to chase that purse?
Yeah, I am, Donnie.
So if I was to ask you now, let's say we're 12 weeks in the future here. The season's over. Where are you finishing in the series coming up here in the Fairview IT Cup series?
Oh, top 5.
You heard it here. I'm going to write that down. If Tom Payton finishes in the top 5 in the series, Tom Payton might be my next co-host. Got one more person I want to talk to here before we end the live stream. Glenn, always great. But Jason, did you get tired there at the end?
We won't comment.
Jason won't comment. First time ever racing out. I think he'll be back, though. I think he's got that passion. Glenn, what about you, man? I know you're used to 2 and out.
Oh, yeah, the 2 and out's all right, but I don't think it'll be good for the series, though.
Well, your son wants to do this on the GRCs. He was commenting up here. He said, we need to do this Thursday night. Would you agree to try to do this on the GRC?
Set out.
Well, you heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we're going to have here today. Next, you could keep an eye out on our Facebook page as we're going to do celebrations as Tim Hall and Paul Woosley are going to sign the top of Lanes Raceway. That's all for us here. Thank you for watching.